back to Click Connect. I'm your host, Craig, and today it's our last show of 2023. And we've got a very special guest for you today. But before we bring him out, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. I'd like to thank our production partner, Red Roof Franchising. They've been with us from the beginning. They make the shows possible, just like you, our audience, make this show possible. If you're looking for an alternative brand, please give Matt Hostetler a call. You know, they've got a soft brand, they've got an extended stay, they've got a new prototype, and they've also got, you know, their economy brands that they're famous for. So if you're looking for a new brand, give Matt a call. Let him know that producer Dani and I sent you. And before we bring out our guest, I do want to congratulate CLIC. They had their annual expo and conference on Monday, and it was a great event. I was lucky enough to moderate the first panel out of the gate, and it was a lot of fun. And I got to see a lot of old friends and meet some new friends as well. But our guest today, Naresh N.D. Bhakta, Regional Director, Greater Los Angeles, AAHOA, was on my panel. And we had such a good time. We invited him into the studio today to say hi and have a show and a conversation with him. So welcome, Naresh. How are you, my friend? Welcome to Click Connect.
I am doing fabulous, my friend. It's such a very honored to see you 2 days in a row, pretty much, like, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't happen that often, even though we're kind of in each other's backyard. You know?
Absolutely. You know.
Oh, it's so funny. I really thank you for coming in and saving the day at the 11th hour and being able to be on our panel at the CLIA Expo. I think you gave the audience some great information, and I know you're going to do that again today. So first question, my friend, would you tell the audience about yourself and AAHOA?
Great. First of all, I heard you saying about this is the last show of the year, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, that, and obviously Red Roof is sponsored. That's another thing that I come to know. But very nice. I got a great friend at the Red Roof also, Vin Sharma, right here locally, that I know him. Actually, in fact, he was here yesterday at my office, in my office.
Nice.
But anyway, the first introduction that I'd like to give is like myself. As you can read my name, Naresh, aka Andy Bhakta. I'm the regional director of Los Angeles region out of 22 regions that AAHOA has. Over 20,000 members we have across the country. And many of those members are, I would say, pretty much Asian communities that we're based off. And today we have almost third generations of membership based in AAHOA. So that's basically, then I represent right here, California, the major component of California, which is Southern California part of it, from Los Angeles to all the way to Fresno, Tulare area, and all the way to Bishop and that area. So it's almost 6 counties I represent, and that is the strength that Los Angeles region has.
And it is a strong market. I mean, 6 counties. You know, I was really glad to see that they had broken up the southern region, because I think we really needed more coverage from AAHOA on this. So, Naresh, tell us about, you know, a little bit more about the Greater Los Angeles AAHOA region. When was this broken up into 2 different sections, and you know, what are some of your duties in the Greater LA AAHOA region, please?
Very good. California had previously 2 regions, and that's North Pacific and South Pacific. Yeah. North Pacific's from Fresno all the way to Oregon, and South Pacific obviously from Fresno down to San Diego. But the North Pacific also has the territories of Nevada. And based on the membership, the region has been created. There was a long time ago, there was a central region also in California. Right. But because of the membership requirement, it was eliminated. Now we have huge lifetime membership that Southern California has, and it was needed to represent all the hoteliers, all the members to AAHOA's activities. Therefore, in 2020, this region was created. So from, as I was saying earlier, from Los Angeles County, Ventura County, all the way to Tulare and so on, that is the area of GLAA, that's called Greater Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
And then from Orange County down to south, all the way to San Diego and to the Blythe and all that area is called South Pacific. That includes Hawaii also, by the way.
Yep.
And North Pacific remain the same. So that is then, and we both regions are really powerful in terms of number of strength of members.
Absolutely. And, I'm glad that Hawaii got on board as well. That I think was another, critical market for the growth of AAHOA.
True.
What's going on with hotels in, let's say, the city of Los Angeles? Because that's probably been keeping you very busy this year. You had a lot of legislative matters. You've had, union discussions, a few other things. What's the latest on the city of Los Angeles?
Very good question. And I must say, it has been our major activities engagement with the city of LA on a various different topics, whether it's unsheltered or the wages and so on. Recently, I would say, the awareness of issues that hoteliers faces. Our responsibility is to educate the lawmakers what are the realities on the ground. Until and unless they understand what the hoteliers go through, they will not understand or they will not weigh in where we are coming from. Obviously, we are, as you know, mostly it's a minority immigrant-owned businesses, the hoteliers we are. And I will give you some numbers, okay, in California specifically.
Please.
Yeah, and the numbers are as follow. Out of 20,000 plus members across the country, we are as AAHOA. California has owns 61.8% of the hotels in state, which totals about 3,532 hotels. And AAHOA members pays here. Listen to this one. $16.9 billion, almost $17 billion worth of federal, state, and local taxes in California. Can you imagine what we are doing in terms of part when it comes to the law? And here, one more thing. The direct employment we have is over 300,000 workers. That is the role that we hoteliers play in the California's economy. Yeah. And we impact another 290,000 additional jobs besides the 300,000.
Right.
This is on the contractors, service providers, and so on. So just imagine it's almost 600,000 jobs that this industry creates. And if we don't respect those segments, aren't we doing some injustice? Craig,
yes.
What do you think?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree with everything that you said. I also feel that, hotels are a huge part of the economic engine of tourism and travel in this state. And again, we do pay more taxes than anybody else.
Right. So furthermore, I can tell you that, see, over past 18 months that we have been very active in LA, and very, very active with the continuous dialogue against the Union 11, the local Union 11, and has brought several. They have brought several ordinances before the City of Council that directly target hotels. Yeah. We are unable to understand these particular the actions that they're taking. They may have their membership concerns, raising the funds and whatnot, but take a look at it, balance the thing, and have some justice given to the economy what the California deserves. Obviously, maybe I can stop here until the next question. I should stop.
No worries. No, but I agree with you, and I think most of the public does not understand that a hotelier is a small business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of times it's a family business, and you've got the next generation working on that hotel and maybe acquiring another one. And a lot of them are select service. It's not the big, huge 500 room hotel across the street from Disneyland or attached to a convention center in most cases. So it really is a small business that, keeps its money locally and helps all the other entertainment, restaurants, and other activities in the local community. So it's got quite an impact, and I agree with everything that you said. Now we've also been having some issues, and I'm really curious to hear what you think and AAHOA's thinking is we've got labor problems. We lost a lot of people because of COVID-19. We have not done a very good job of recruiting tomorrow's leaders. As you know, part of our mission with the California Lodging Investment Conferences, we make a scholarship donation to AAHOA every year, and various other trade organizations trying to help out with that. But what are you seeing? What's the latest on labor right now?
Before I go into the labor part of it, you indicated about this industry, the hoteliers that run the family businesses. I want to put a couple of limelight on that part.
Sure.
Would you believe we are mostly family operated businesses? Each and I would say out of 100, 95 hotels are being operated by the family members and resides. And guess what? I am no exception. My friend, I am sitting at my own tiny motel in El Monte, which I operate 24/7, 365 myself with my wife.
Yeah.
So you are right now interviewing me from my tiny motel, and that is the story that we want to educate our lawmakers. Now I'm going to turn into the labor part of it. So to answer your question, obviously labor is a big thing. Now this union has brought up several issues. Okay, for example, the first one is a limited hours on a square footage, and then workload to the housekeepers, which impacted in the many of our hotel owners. That is one of the concerns that we had, and their employees. Okay, now for many housekeepers, they prefer to work longer hours and in terms of additional overtime, so they can produce some more income. Now we've been facing that part after the COVID is very heavy, and now the restrictions of the ordinance are being brought by the city. That is regrettably it's impacting us very much so in day-to-day operations. Cleaning the rooms is obviously essential because of the sanitizations is required. All those things is extremely crucial, and we're trying to open up many different channels of producing additional labors, whatever that case may be, whether it's opening some bringing some visas, special visas for the limited person. And we are communicating with our Washington DC legislative efforts, how we can bring some more open some doors to bring them to ease out the labor issues that we face.
I agree, and I think having the lobbyists in DC, the legislative day that we have up in Sacramento, and I've always felt that it was a good idea that wherever you own a hotel or a motel, you get to know your city council member, because that's the only way you're really going to educate them. You've got to be able to, get to know them. They've got to get to know you. They've got to see the importance of your business and, figure out how vital you are to the industry and to the area and the city at large. It's one of those industries that, is critical. We're the first ones to help, whether there's an earthquake, a fire, a flood. We'll take in, the firefighters off the line when they're getting some rest. We'll take in the people that have lost their homes. We're always there. And I think that, we provide, a valuable service, and we're an asset to every community that we're in. It's an amazing business, and you're right. I love it that it's family. It's we do a lot.
I wanna say something to you when you mentioned about the knowing the city council and not. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you back all the way to 2005. You will be surprised what had happened here in my city. Okay, there was a councilwoman called Pat Wallach. Her name was Pat. She passed away, regrettably. There was one of the councilwomen introduced an ordinance, and I want you to understand, and this will seriously open your eyes, Greg, that how the thinking of some people can be.
Yeah.
You cannot rent a room to a same guest more than 60 times in 180 days. Repeat.
Yeah.
You cannot rent a room to a same guest more than 60 times in 180 days. That was the ordinance introduced by one of the city councilwomen in my city. And I want you to know, you know what the logic behind it? That way you will prevent unnecessary burden to the city. And I tell you what, I'm very active in those areas because I
Right.
engage with the city. Because I served on the Mayor GG committee for 10 years. My term just ended last year. But I tell you, I invited council people. Anyone would like to come and sit in my motel and spend your half a day or whatever the time you would like to spend. And I want you to know proudly, Pat Wallach, one of the councilwomen, volunteered.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
she volunteered, and she came. And then and my wife was wondering, Andy, what are you doing? I said, well, we have a special guest, because I did not even inform her. Okay,
Yeah.
and then she came and she sat in my living room, and 4 hours she sat with us. Okay,
Good.
in my motel, and she learned in those 4 hours who comes, who goes, what happens when the bell rings, and every single thing she saw
Yeah.
for 4 hours.
Good.
Guess what? She was the instrumental to make a change in the city council.
Cool.
Hey, 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 hey. Then we give them a practical example. Okay, Craig, I'm going to
Yeah.
take this time for you. That would you be able to stop the citizens to go to the McDonald's, which is next door to you, just about down the street, more than 60 times in 180 days? So you have to look for another McDonald for the 61st time.
Yeah. No.
So now I want you to understand the practicality of these type of examples in this together, and that is what we carry.
Yeah.
That is what we say. Now, knowing the people and engagement, and now volunteering service. Now I'm going to take furthermore. We started, City of El Monte started the program called Helping Hands of El Monte. So we donate 2 rooms, 2 nights per month to the City of El Monte Police Department. So anytime anybody needs in a community, if there is a fire happen to someone's home,
Right.
or if there is a home, if the person needs in an emergency room, all those participants, hoteliers would contribute those 2 nights free to the city.
Yeah.
Guess what, my friend? It took them, in 2009, they recognized what the Almontean has done, Almonte hoteliers has done, and they recognize in the council
Yeah.
for our contributions to the community. And that is the thing that I want the city council to know. We cannot represent ourselves in 1 minute at the city
Right.
council meeting. What can you say? If you have not taken, if you have not given me this amount of time to speak, would you be able to? Do you think I would be able to make up my point across to you
No.
or to the
No.
audience?
No. There's no way. That's impossible.
So those are the things that we also do as AAHOA, as a Greater Los Angeles region. We try to educate our all the city council people. Doesn't matter whether
Right.
it's city of LA, whether it's in Pasadena, anywhere and everywhere. That's it. That is our approach, and that is the volunteer service we do.
and that's always part of it. That's one of the things that I really respect about you and the rest of our hotel community, and that's why it's so critical. Like I mentioned earlier, we're the first ones to help out in case of an emergency.
Always.
So, my friend, what do you think's going to be going on in 2024? What's your crystal ball showing?
Because of the interest rates are increasing,
Yeah.
there is a slowdown for sure. There is no
Yeah.
question about that.
Yeah.
And I am not that expert when it comes to those statistics. Maybe as I told you the other day, how the industry is going. But I think we should not be scared of that interest rate, because demand is always there. And as you know, during the slow time, we also do constructions, right?
Yep.
And obviously we have a labor. Right now the prices went down when it comes to the other side, but labor price went up. We discussed that the other day.
Yep.
That but labor cost has product produce has been become a little bit it making a different. Also the freight is also cheaper now. And the last number that I studied from California side in construction, as I indicated, 35,000 rooms are going to be added in California.
Right.
Those are the numbers in plan. And you are most genius, most knowledgeable person when it comes to that, because you are the investor's guide. Okay. You guide people when it comes to investment and so on. So you know what the jobs are, what the 24 will look like in terms of economy. And of course it's election time again, that's another
Yeah.
thing. So, but I think I'm very optimistic that 24 will be definitely there. If we will see something in pocket wise, but I think California is very strong in every possible way. But only thing is, I'm wearing blue color as being a Californian. But hey, it is also try time to implement the red color business policies. You got to understand that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in order to, and that is important in 24. That would be my take. I don't know.
I agree with you. I think I when when this episode comes out, the Fed will probably already have met, and I'm thinking we've got one more bump this year. And I think next year, as and if you look at historically going into an election year, if the Fed has been raising the rates the year before, typically they will start coming down as we get closer to the election. We had a very long run of exceedingly good to great interest rates. When I started, residential rates hit 19%. That was in the 70s.
Wow.
And you cannot have the real estate market completely come to a stop. So what happened? There was leases, there were land contracts, there were all-inclusive deed of trust. So, you've got to make that happen. And an election year throws chaos into every market, and Wall Street never likes chaos. But I think as we get closer to the election, we're gonna, we'll see some movement on interest rates. I think next year, looking at some of the events that are staying in, say, the Bay Area, others that are coming back to the Bay Area, other events that we've got in Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, the Inland Empire. I think we've got a very, very good year ahead of us. And I think that, new development and or repositioning of hotel assets are all going to be on the table for next year.
Absolutely.
So
I was in Washington, D.C. During the legislative summit, and speaking of repositioning, office buildings are being converted into the hotels. It's pretty much so as well. You can put the light on that too.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where the hotel enhanced mixed use development really, comes into play. You can take a few of those floors and turn them into residential. You can take a few of those floors and turn it into the hotel and still keep in some retail on the ground floor. You can have meeting space up on a second or third floor. I think there's a lot of possibilities there, especially if you look at the floor plates for the building and if the elevators are in the right position. You can always add more pumps to get water up there. It's the electrical, and it's also about heating and air conditioning. So we've got to look at all that. But I like all those options. I really do. Okay, my friend, it's time for our lightning round. Are you ready?
Oh my goodness. It's scaring me now.
Okay, 2 minutes on the clock. It's word association, just the first thing that pops into your mind. And we're going to start now. Arrival.
Hotels.
Ultra luxury.
Jet.
Labor.
Students.
Nice. Favorite band, group, duo, or solo artist?
Bonnie M. Oldies.
I love it.
Bonnie M.
AI.
Automation.
Favorite sport?
Cricket.
Streaming or cable?
Streaming.
Favorite movie?
My goodness, that would be the it's too. I'll tell you, because people might not know Sholay. This is one of the Hindi movie, Bollywood.
Okay,
movie.
great,
Sholay.
Love it. Best restaurant in your hometown?
Al Pascador.
Nice. Vacation, international or U.S.?
International.
All right, you did that with 53 seconds. Congratulations, my friend. Okay, you said cricket. I don't understand cricket.
Okay.
Give me the Reader's Digest synopsis on cricket, please.
It is very similar to baseball.
Ball?
But
Yeah.
in baseball, every player uses the gloves. In this one, only one who is a catcher, and that's called wicket keeper. And the ball is normally in baseball, it's a straight ball from throwing, which a pitcher to the batsman, which batter. In the cricket, the baller is bowling like this. It bounces on the ground, and then the batter called batsman.
Okay.
And he has 3 sticks behind it, like over the on the home plate that we have. So it has to go. He has to protect those 3 sticks. That's called stumps.
Okay.
And I tell you, we just had a World Cup was hosted. India lost. India won 10 straight game, and they lost the last game.
Oh, heartbreaker.
But yeah, heartbreaker. Yeah, they were 10-0, and they lost the last one. But anyway, it's a very, and by the way, cricket is coming to USA, and now it's going to be an Olympic as well. So you will, yes.
Good.
Okay,
I love it.
So you will learn a lot more, and it's a strong economy producer worldwide.
Worldwide,
just like the soccer,
Yeah.
The craze of the cricket is very heavy. But let me tell you, speaking of the, I'm also a football fan, and Cowboys is my team, although I'm a Californian.
The NFL will break your heart every time. You had a good season, and then all of a sudden you got 5 bad ones. So.
Oh yes.
Oh,
but Cowboys are still America's team. Doesn't matter whether whether we have won or not, but we are still stadium feeling team. That's all it is.
There you go. My friend, how can everybody get a hold of you?
By the way, I'm a very active in Facebook. My Facebook is always full. Yes, I'm a LinkedIn user, but not that heavy. But I'm in 24. I'm planning to use LinkedIn more. But I'm open to everyone. Please call me 626-253-6355 is my number, and you will find me on AAHOA's website, AAHOA.com, on a board of directors in the Greater Los Angeles. That's my contact information, and you can gladly send me email. ND, that's N like Nancy, D like David, number 4, AAHOA@gmail.com. And I'm happy to answer any question, and I'm willing to go extra mile to my members, whatever I need to. It is my responsibility, Craig.
It is, and you take it very seriously, and you're very good at it. And thank you so much for joining the conversation on CLIC connect, my friend. I really appreciate it.
I truly appreciate opportunity as you have given me through this channel. I appreciate Red Roof. How can I forget my Red Roof guys? Okay. Hi Matt. Hi Lena. Hi Vince. Hi Akbar. Hello everybody. Convey my message to them. Okay.
There we go.
Very good.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
Everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us today. As I mentioned at the top of the show, this is the last one of the year. Producer Dani and I are going to take the rest of the year off. We're going to come back strong. We will have a sizzle reel, so you'll get to see what we did the first part of this season. It's our 9th season. We'll be back in January with new episodes. So, I want to thank Matt Hostetler and our good friends over at Red Roof for being our production partners. If you're looking for a new brand, they're a great alternative. Give Matt a call. Let him know that producer Dani and I sent you. He'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much, Matt, for always being a great supporter of us. And coming March 6th and 7th, 2024, the 7th Annual California Lodging Investment Conference. Hey, you can meet ND there. We've got AAHOA there. We've got trade organizations. We've got brands. We've got lenders, owners, operators, management companies, on and on. Great event. Join us. You can register at CLIconference.com. Thank you for joining us. I really want to thank ND for being with us today and closing out the year. What a great show. We'll have him back soon. Remember, as I'm fond of saying, be kind. Share your knowledge. Now go be amazing.